No, this is not a slight read. By special seasons of Drag Race, I mean seasons of Drag Race that follow a certain theme, such as an all-winner season, an all-Miss Congeniality season, an all-New York City Queen season, excluding the winners of course, All-Stars 1 redo with All-Stars 2's format, an international season, an all-impersonator season, and a Big Brother-esque season. So, firstly, the all-winner season. I feel like in order not to show any queen in bad light just by default, there should be no eliminations in this season. There is a bottom two and they do lip sync. The winner is announced, but the loser doesn't go home. They just earn 0 points for that episode. The season is basically each week the queens get to earn points, and the winner in the end is whichever queen statistically was the best. There are no twists, there is no blatant favoritism, just good old drag artists competing to see who can outdo each other. I also don't think All-Stars winners should be in this season. While Chad definitely and Alaska somewhat would have won their seasons had there not been for Sharon and Jinx respectively, Trixie placed 6th in her season and was eliminated twice, not to mention that her run on All-Stars 3 was lackluster. Maybe winning if X or Y didn't happen doesn't mean you should be in an all-winner season. Well, I think that they should— oh my god, make your own video, Linda, it really is not hard. I think that the winner would be either Sharon, Aquaria, or Bianca, though Bianca would fall behind a bit in more performance-oriented challenges that were introduced in the most recent seasons. If I were producing the show, I'd have 11 episodes where each episode would have a different theme or skill that the queens would have to show, plus the finale. So we'd have a design challenge where the queens make stuff out of non-clothing related things, then a massive performance challenge, an acting challenge, snatch game, singing challenge, either live singing or record a verse type of a thing, makeover challenge. For example, they'd have to make over the queens that were eliminated first in the season that they won, dancing challenge, the ball challenge, roast, or some sort of a challenge where the queens have to write their own material and perform it without anybody's help, maybe even like a create a product type of a challenge. And the talent show, yes, talent show, not variety show. Talent show. Now, the finale in the 11th episode would be live, like in recent seasons, every queen would get to walk on the runway. Then they do a photo shoot with Rue, and after that, each queen would choose a queen from their season to rest their case on why they think they are the best winner. Okay, this is confusing even to read, but let me give you an example. Adore would talk about why Bianca is the best winner. In the end, there would be a grand reveal of the scoreboard, ranking each queen from last to first place. Also, the queens do not know about the ranking system, nor the audience, like we're never told this. And just for fun, once the winner is announced, all the other queens from their season come out on stage and celebrate with them. This way, we get the genuine reactions from the ultimate winner, and the queens that didn't win, of course. Let's say that the winner gets to join the panel of judges, and once Rue dies, they get to replace him. And I'd wait for an all-winner season once we have 15 winners. Now, with the Miss Congeniality season, it's a similar thing. Though, of course, the challenges wouldn't be the same, they just follow a similar format. There would be a makeover challenge and a dancing challenge and all that jazz. But because Miss Congenialities are voted by fans, the ultimate winner will also be decided by fans. Let's say that, similarly to my idea of an all-winner season, the queens here collect points based on how they do. The scores are revealed and the fans have like, I don't know, 10 minutes to vote. Now, this voting would have to be televoting because, well, it's really easy to cheat votes when things are voted over the internet, so televoting would be fairer. Think of it as a Eurovision-esque voting system. So each queen has the points that they earned and then they get the points from the televoting. The queen with the lowest amount of votes gets 1 point, and then comparatively to that, the other queens earn points. For example, let's say that the lowest queen gets 500 votes and the second lowest gets 3000 votes. The second lowest queen would thus get 6 points and so on and so on. And if you think this is not fair, well, Eurovision this year was won by something I can only describe as a frog terrorist hybrid, instead of this absolute fucking legend. Life isn't fair. I see the competition here being tighter than in the all-winner season, which says a lot. Next up, an all-team New York City Queen season, excluding the winners, of course. If I'm correct, this season would have Manila, Mimi, Jiggly, Milan, Ivy, Vivian, Milk, Vivacious, Pearl, Miss Fame, Acid Betty, Torji, Aja, Alexis Michelle, Peppermint, Dusty, Miss Cracker, Yuhua, and Monet. Of course, we're excluding Pandora, Kasha, and Darian, who are New York queens, but they are New York queens in the sense that they are from the state of New York, not New York City. Here, I see Manila, Torji, Aja, Peppermint, Alexis, and Monet, and maybe even Ivy and Minnie doing the best. This season follows the format of any regular season, though I would have the girls lip sync for the crown just because we know that the New York girls are like some of the best performers. All Stars 1 redo with the All Stars 2's format is the next season, and for this we need 10 queens. With Chad already winning, we have 11 queens, and given that Raven works for the show now, this means that she can't do it either, so we're left with exactly 10 queens. Here I see Manila, Pandora, Latrice doing the best. An international season is one where we get, let's say, 2 queens per continent, and of course we're excluding the Antarctic because I don't think there are any queens or just like human people who originate from there or live there like full time. This would include any of the past season's queens and also only 1 queen per country. This would not include, let's say, a queen that was born in Asia or has Asian ancestry but works in the US. No. Here, I want as diverse as possible drag, which means that Michelle Visage cannot be a judge, and also the queens do not have to explain their references if they do come from their respective cultures to the judges. They can do this in the voiceovers, for example. If they want to introduce the audience to something new, they should not have to do this to the judges, again, like when Yuhua had to explain herself to the judges. This season would work as any regular season of Drag Race, bottom 2 eliminations and all that. The winner in the end is decided by how they did on the show and nothing else. An NonImpersonator season could include some previous contestants such as Venus, Coco, Chad, Derek, Jay Jolie, and Farrah even, but of course some new queens too. Here, the first main challenge would be Snatch Game, where the queens would have to impersonate the pop girl that they do impersonate. The season would follow the format of a regular Drag Race season, and the queens on the runway and in the challenges always impersonate the Madonnas, the Janets, Chers, Britneys, Taylors, Christinas, or whoever they do impersonate. They also answer the runway's themes based on how their respective pop girl would answer them and not how they would. And in the end, the top 4 would lip sync for the crown in either one of the 2 ways. Firstly, each of the 4 queens do their best performance of the said pop girl they impersonate, and the winner is chosen out of the 4. Or, the format follows the current lip syncing for the crown format, and just to make my point, let's say that Venus and Derek are 2 out of the top 4, so they have to do a lip sync battle to Me Against the Music, where each lip syncs their respective pop girls' parts. Though, if there happens not to be a collab between the 2 girls that are impersonated, a mashup of the song is used. A Big Brother-esque season where there's really no difference to how the game is played or anything of that sort, but the season is completely live. The episodes would run just as the current Drag Race, but you would have the opportunity to watch the queens live in the workroom, during the downtime, and maybe instead of the queens being isolated from each other, they are kept in a Big Brother-esque house. Other than this being nice for the fans to watch the queens actually make their stuff and see how things actually happen, not to mention see the process behind the whole thing, we also get to see which queens are fake, because no matter how much they try to put on a fake personality a la Valentina, they'd get exhausted from it and we'd be able to see it. So yeah, that's it. That's what I'd want to see from Drag Race in the future. Another thing I'd like to see from Drag Race in the future is lip syncs of songs that are not in English. And yeah, we've already had like, I don't know, 2 or 3 Spanish songs, but it's not enough. And also, if anybody says something like, but if they don't know the language, how will they lip sync a song in it? It's not fair. Linda, you can phonetically learn the song. I have no fucking clue what Alma sings in Requiem, but does that stop me from singing the song? Absolutely not. Should it stop me because I cannot sing? Yeah,